Why do we do science? There might be a reason we do normally not think about.
And then our last one is
Tatenda Murigo was an undergraduate student in biochemistry from the University of Zimbabwe in Africa. A lively and passionate girl that would dream of changing the rather challenging research landscape in Africa. She dedicated her life to science. But why? Why do we dedicate our life to science? What makes us spend hours in the laboratory when we know how short life can be? But let's take a step back. Why do we do science? Is it because we want to unravel the truth, arrive at insights? Science is one of the leading fields that demonstrate how a multinational approach and open borders can support innovation and progress. Given that almost all communication and publications happen in one language, makes us feel like a big family. However, when one takes an international perspective, something is missing. As fascinating as modern collaborations are, they require one to have something to offer, a special technique or some expertise others need. For most, this is not a problem. However, there are regions where everything looks a bit different. In developing countries such as in Africa, scientists face rather fundamental struggles.
Number one challenge we face is funding. Most times, 90% of the case, we fund our research ourselves. I did fund my master's research myself. If I was to do my PhD in Nigeria, most likely I would fund it myself. So funding is a major challenge. The second thing is access to reagents. Usually when we order, we get minimum 90 days. Sometimes about 150 days. Then sometimes if you have a bulk order, which is usually not the case most time, then it can arrive faster.
The truth doesn't know nationalities or personalities. It is indifferent as to who does the research, but our research environment is not.
So I grew up in quite a rural setting of in South Africa. Financially, we were not, in a good state. So I wanted to make a difference. One of the things that I quickly picked up was, I would say, the support of developed countries like in Europe. The government is really involved. There's support in terms of, financial support. There's, I think we don't have, adequate capacity to train and retain scientists.
Because we love our research so much, it is easy to forget about regions such as Africa that are fighting to be able to do research after all. In 2018, 14% of the world's population lived in sub-Saharan Africa, but only 0.7% of the world's researchers came from there. Research organizations such as the International Union for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology are confronted with these issues firsthand. This is why they decided to specifically invest in regions that need more attention.
My vision for the IUBMB is to see an increase in our global activities, and especially to pull in countries with poor resources to promote biochemistry and molecular biology in developing countries. For me, obviously being based in Africa, Africa is naturally on my wish list.
For this reason, various attempts of support have been created, such as the Pro-Bio Africa Fellowships, which support PhD students, but also young postdocs who conduct research stays up to 6 months in Europe.
The experience was really mind-blowing for me. Being in such a big lab, people from all across the world, you get to connect and speak with different persons.
Another level of support was established with the IUBMB Mulipos Sigma Enable Africa Fellowships, which fund up to 5 trainees from Africa to attend the annual FEPS IUBMB Enable conference. And these programs show a significant impact.
It was an ecstatic moment. I was over the moon. I was really excited. And I couldn't believe, when I The outcome of the application, it was at night around 12 a.m. I shot in the heart. I was in my best. At that time, I wasn't thinking about attending conferences, especially overseas. I knew I couldn't afford to go.
And still, these undertakings take time. And in the meantime, the potential of dozens of researchers gets lost. For them, it is not about learning enough or being talented enough. It is about being able to do research at all.
Africa has enormous untapped potential of talent, and helping trainees and researchers there is the inspiration between our IUBMB Africa initiative. One example is our recently funded trainee initiative, and there they are represented by the FASBMB, the Federation of African Societies for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. So we were very fortunate to recruit one especially enthusiastic member, Tatenda Murigo.
I would say an exceptional, student that we had, in the department, Tatenda Murigo. She would excel in her own studies. She would be ready, to stand for the other students. I remember at one point, even when it was ready to submit an assignment, if she felt that, the other fellow students had not been given enough time to prepare for that particular assignment, she would come in and stand and advocate that, students should be given more time.
Even her own research, she investigated plant extracts in the treatment of common diseases within Africa. She set out to be one of the science communicators that not only share insights with the public, but also venture to demonstrate how it can drive innovation and economic growth. She was one of the beacons of hope to propel science forward by emphasizing how important collaboration within Africa is, and in how far science might be able to solve societal problems as well. But then,
early one Thursday morning this past July, I was having a Zoom meeting with our trainee initiative. Tatenda was on the call, and she was brimming with ideas. But we kept being cut off by bad internet. So in the end, she sent us a WhatsApp message and telling us that when her Wi-Fi got back, she would send us her insights. And she ended the message with a big heart. This exemplifies how she felt about us, and it certainly exemplifies how we felt and continue to feel about her. Unfortunately, we never got to read her insights. The following morning, she was in a fatal car accident going from her church to her biochemistry lab. Needless to say, we were all devastated. And all of us on the trainee initiative and myself who got to know her as such a kind and passionate and helpful person, we were hit pretty hard. So we've created a fellowship to memorialize her commitment to helping trainees. We want to further invest in her as a symbol of change. We want to empower others, and in memory of Tatenda, enable them to promote their careers while changing the scientific landscape of Africa. So this is the reason why we've created the Tatenda Murigo Fellowship that will go to a female biochemistry student at a university in Zimbabwe.
Undergraduate program that runs for 4 years, and it's an honors degree in biochemistry. This program would be awarded to a female biochemistry student who has been excelling and has been consistent from her first year into their third year. And the student who is awarded this does not have to worry about raising fees, because this would cover for their accommodation, they would cover for their tuition. It would enable them maybe even to get reagents for their final year project. They possibly also have an opportunity to attend an international conference in biochemistry. And really, this would be something that any student would wish for.
And this is why the IUBMB needs your help. At this point, it needs the help from researchers worldwide to give talented students from Africa a chance to do their research, to help to unravel the mysteries of nature and to contribute to our insights.
So I think that IUBMB experience was very instrumental in my career, because it sort of gave me confidence more to look for opportunities and to believe in myself.
One could tell you that it's just a click to donate. that it's done in a few seconds. However, this is missing the point. It is a big demonstration of commitment to support regions that might never benefit you personally in your career, but it contributes to the larger goal of science. It is not about how much one gives, but what we are standing for. So, why do we do science? We do science to make the world a better place, because we believe that by unraveling the truth, we will contribute to make things right. But to arrive at those insights, it needs what we often forget about: our community, our colleagues from all over the world who keep us going, who inspire us, and who support us in the tough times. It is them who make us feel alive, although they might be thousands of kilometers away. With already $3,000 in donations collected, soon, with your help, the fellowship can be ready to launch. Today, every input makes a difference, whether it is enough to buy a lunch or to afford an entire set of reagents. You give someone else the chance to continue what Tatenda has started.
We say to ourselves, look, I think it would be such an honor if we could try in our own way, create a family scholarship which could actually reach out to the kind of people that Tatenda was trying to reach out to.
So don't be afraid to get anything or to do anything, because you can do it. That was her motto, because she would say nothing is impossible. Try to be an innovator, someone who can actually find out something. I think that's what would make Tatenda happy.